Have you guys been following the Biden Autopen signatures, Adam? Have you been following?
I know you're very angry about this.
You know, and Rob Scher is speaking for me as an angry patriot. So there's been a bunch of reporting, and I'm going to get into who did it, Tom, that the president, Joe Biden, was not actually signing all the signatures that he was doing for all the executive orders. It's just everything, just business as usual in the White House. There's been a bunch of people that are going after it. Have you heard anything about this, Tom?
Oh, it was signature at Bernie's.
Basically, that's exactly what it was. So
remember when he couldn't remember that he had signed the thing that was actually a energy embargo in Europe?
Yeah, Mike Johnson. With Mike Johnson.
With Mike Johnson. And when Mike Johnson's like, I was
talking to him, and he's like, I don't recall. Well, now, maybe the reason he doesn't recall is he's sharper than we thought.
Yeah.
Because there was somebody in the back was signing them.
Yeah, exactly. So the Oversight Project, I've been looking at these guys. So they're part of the Heritage Foundation. They exposed one of the biggest frauds in modern political history, Biden's use of this Autopen, including pardons, guys. This is where it gets freaking awesome, okay? So the U.S. Constitution requires a president to be present for all legal signatures, but Biden's weren't even done by him, okay? And the research found that every single one of Joe Biden's pardons had the exact same Autopen signature. And let's just be clear, guys. I have my go-to signature. So does Pat, so does Trump, so does everybody that's watching, Tom and Rob, and I know, Adam, you do too. It's not identical. There's absolutely no way in hell that you're going to do it the same way, Tom, every single time. I don't give a shit who you are. So
Trump finds a way. Somehow he is the exception, but you see him actually signing because he'll do these executive orders and then he'll hold them up and he'll go, how perfect is that signature?
By the way,
and I love it. Then he'll turn and everyone's like, it is perfect, sir.
Have you heard him rating his own signatures?
Yes, that's
like when he had all the little girls who were in the White House and he was praising the fact that today was a day that, male means male, female means female, and all these girls are here because no more than this women's sports.
Yeah.
He signs it and he goes, I think that's a good one. I think that's like a 10.
Yeah, it's funny because and as he's doing it, because bro, each signature takes like a good minute or two because it is taking time.
He would also do the same rating when he was judging the Miss World pageants.
What would he do?
Like, that's a 10 right there.
What did he do?
7.5 right there. You gained a little weight. Who's this dude? All of a sudden.
Did he?
No, but you can understand why he would do something
For a
like
second,
that.
I'm like, now I would pay to watch Trump do an auto.
You're fat. You're ugly. You're coming home with me tonight.
Yeah,
excuse me.
Let's go. But
meanwhile, so whoever was putting the papers under there, they could have slipped in a pardon for their weird Uncle Louie.
Oh, weird.
Well, that's what you're saying.
Well, what I'm saying is,
and they just stick it in the stack.
Oh, isn't that weird?
Louis Abramovich from Fort Lee, New Jersey,
is now pardoned.
Pardoned. So, do we know him? Oh, never mind.
Yeah. So every single one of these, and I'm gonna have Kelly play this. Every single one of them, guys. It's from the Biden family pardons to Anthony Fauci, General Milley, all the J6 committee figures, Adam Schiff, Shifty Schiff, all these people. Kelly, can you show, guys, look at this, what they did. They took all the signatures and look at how they just all come together. And then look, Robbie, it's the same signature.
Wow.
It's literally, there's no. Bro,
everyone's signature is exactly the same?
No, every one of his, like they all blend them, Adam, and they all come together perfectly.
Like, what are the odds that would actually happen for 5? If you even did this yourself and you did 5 of your signatures and laid them over.
And try to match it? Absolutely. But Rob, there's no way.
At least one of them would be off.
Yeah, because honestly, I change my signature almost every time. There's no freaking way he's doing it.
Well, you've seen a stamp before, right?
You can't. Yeah, but
you're not allowed to stamp?
But are you ready? And I love that you're asking this. This is where it gets worse. On December 30th, 2022, while Creepy Joe was golfing in the U.S. Virgin Islands, someone pardoned 6 criminals with the same Autopen. All of them claimed that they were signed. And Kelly, go to the next one. Signed in the city of Washington while Biden was nowhere near Washington. Click on that, Kelly. Look at all the ones on the pardons right there.
He's here. He was here at the beach picking up a Rolex.
Yeah,
see that?
And look at all the guys. See all these pardons? And then Kelly, go to the one with the actual writings is on it. Keep going. And golf, is that the only one? Oh, right there. See, done at the city of Washington on this 30th day of December. Guys, he wasn't there. That signature is not his actual signatures. The only document that he actually signed himself, Tom, take a wild guess which one it was. Take a wild guess.
Hunter Biden.
The one for Hunter.
No, the letter of him withdrawing out of the 2024 race. That's Nancy Pelosi going, get the fuck over here and sign that. We need your actual signature. So that means someone else guys, was running the country. Okay, so that's when we talk about the shadow government, Tom. We talk about other people behind the
And that
scenes.
was a weird letter. Remember, it wasn't even on White House letterhead or anything. It had a weird slant to it.
Yeah, when you see it, and Tom, so when we talk about the Tony Blinkens, the Pelosi's, when Mike Johnson said that he went to go try to talk to him and he was bombarded by Schumer and everybody. So Tom, if this is in fact true, does that nullify every single thing that he signed that's not his actual signature if he wasn't in the White House?
Well, I think most people, I'm interested to see what other people think here, but I think what most people would say, get over it, whether he signed it. Get over it. He signed it. He didn't necessarily sign it on the day that it states here, but he signed it. He took care of all of them and he signed it. And okay, you don't like that signature? He can re-sign it. He can sign another one. It's not like none of these things were going to happen.
Yes, I understand that. But the legality part of it, the fact that he wasn't actually physically doing it.
The shadow government and people, getting things signed and turning switches and things like that, that's the issue for me. All of these pardons were going to happen. All these things were going to happen. But the fact there was actually a shadow government in there that was doing things, that's what bothers me.
What do you think, Rob?
I like that all of this information comes out now. Realistically, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, we were talking about all of this. And when you would have these conversations, it was, well, he has Parkinson's. He's an old man. Do you remember Robert Herr? He's a nice man. He's a nice man with a poor memory.
Yeah.
There were all these spins. And now Jake Tapper has the nerve to go out and sell a book talking about his time behind the scenes and what was going on in Biden's cognitive decline. Meanwhile, he was on air covering up for his cognitive decline. So when they show these polls, and we've shown them before, that distrust in the government is at an all-time low.
Yep.
Trust in government is at an all-time low. Distrust is at an all-time high. Ratings for the mainstream media are down. You can see why. They lie to you, they gaslight you, and you actually have to go to the independent people who are actually doing the research to get the information and then make a decision for yourself.
What do you think, Adam?
I don't think Joe Biden has another chance of running again. I don't think he's going to get elected.
No, not now. You made snot literally come out of my nose.
snotted on me?
And I guess
Spent the weekend thinking that over.
So, yeah, I think, look, we're sort of doing Monday morning quarterback on the Joe Biden administration. I think history will tell the story of Biden, of like Rob alluded to, a nice man with a poor memory and no frickin' balls. Because he let the progressive left wing of the Democratic Party basically hijack what he said was going to be a moderate, reaching out to both sides of the aisle type administration. And we saw what happened. And if I was the Democratic left, I would have done exactly what they did. All right, guys, we got COVID. Mm-hmm. It's our chance. We're gonna. What do they say in the World Economic Forum? It's the Great Restart. What do they call it?
The Great Reset.
The Great Reset. Here's our chance.
And Rahm Emanuel said, "Never let a crisis go to waste."
Exactly.
That's
so
the epitome
so
of
it's
it.
like, just understand who you're fighting against. All right, we're gonna mask. We're gonna lock down. We're gonna mandate COVID shots. We're gonna censor. We have these white ring ultra nationalist MAGA guys. We're going to label them this. This is the playbook.
Yeah, of course.
And it completely backfired.
Yeah.
Because they went too far. Mm-hmm. The trans thing, which I'm sure we'll get into at some point,
We have to.
was the icing on the cake. Because, all right, a little bit of DEI stuff. All right. Nobody's going to cry about that too much. A little bit of the ESG stuff. A little bit of the shadow banning stuff. But once they start saying that a man is a woman and a woman is a man, you have the average person being like,
I'm done.
come on, player.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done.
And I remember exactly when it happened because I remember exactly where we were. We were in Miami doing the model volleyball event. By the way, you're invited again this year. And it was Easter Sunday, and it was also Transgender Day of Visibility. And that, to me, was the beginning of the end of Biden. So this is all stuff that we're kind of Monday morning quarterbacking. He was rubber stamping this or signing this. He's a quote-unquote nice man with a poor memory, and his legacy and the Democratic Party's current legacy is done for at least 10 years.
And I'm going to go to you, Rob. But my thing is, Adam, if we don't get to, and this is Tom, and I know, I'm pretty sure. Tell me if I'm wrong that you guys are on the same boat. I am sick and tired of let's just Let's just move on. We cannot. This is the problem and where we are right now with every single major problem that we have. Everybody's attitude, dude, with pedophilia, with one of the greatest pedophilia blackmail rings, you know what the attitude is? Yeah, but you know what? If they come to light, that our system is going to collapse. Well, guess what? Let the heavens fall if truth cannot be told, bro. I want the truth. And I guess what? If this guy, which guys, we know, we're not stupid at him. We know from the beginning when he was saying, me and Tom used to have this conversation. Tom said it actually first on the PBD podcast. When he turned and he'd go, I can't answer any questions. They told me to, Tom said, who the hell is they? You're the president of the United States. We know who they were, but the fact that he wasn't the one signing it when he said he was going to sign it, I want, as a freaking greedy, I'm an angry patriot, but I'm actually greedy. I want accountability. If there's a possibility, Adam, for Fauci to go to freaking jail, sign me up. Find what was that group's name? The Oversight Project. Go for it. Guys, if you're watching this, please, and I want this to get to Trump. I don't think the story's hit him yet. I want this to hit Trump, that all that shit, all that Fauci, find out, get to the bottom of it, because those people need to go to jail. Go ahead, Rob.
Quickly, just to Adam's point, it's very interesting because you often wonder what was the pivot point. And we look at Donald Trump getting shot in the ear as the pivot point for the average person, but it was way before that.
Yeah, I think it was way before that.
It was appealing to people's common sense. And here's what happened. When there were certain people, like I worked in media and I was part of the conversations that were going on in 2020, 2021, 2022, and you were deplatformed, you were debanked, you were censored, you were ostracized, but it was all on individual levels, right? They would silence you, they'd censor you, they'd deplatform you, then they'd debank you, and then you weren't able to get the message out. But when they started with something that everybody could identify, because I had a lot of friends that were on the left that didn't understand, well, what's it matter if you're not able to monetize the content that you're making? I go, that's a huge deal.
That's my right.
I work for a media company. We're not able to monetize
it doesn't affect them.
No, exactly. But when they started those things that every person could identify with, and it really was the trans issue. We want to protect women. And then it became the question of what is an actual woman. I think that's where Biden lost, because it went from nonsense versus common sense, and Donald Trump was the common sense for 2020.
Well, I'll tell you what I basically saying is you're sort of saying the famous phrase, first they came for that poem in a nutshell. First they came for the socialists, and then they came for the Jews, and then they came for the gypsies, and then they came for me, and there was no one left to stand up and say something. What happened was they came for the content creators. I don't really make content. All right, they came for the vaccine skeptics. Well, all these things were one-offs. But when they started questioning our entire sanity and don't believe your lying eyes when Dylan Mulvaney is a woman, okay player, when Leah Thomas, the 6'6" lurch, is beating women swimming, you're like, I don't know about that. So when they started doing things that completely crept into our just overall sense of reality, then the average person's like,
checked out. They're done.
I'm over this.
Yeah, I'm done. You're right.
And that's what I think happened.
Tom,
and then the icing on the cake was when Trump got shot.
That's it.
And they said no.
You can also look at polling data, and there was something that happened right across the border where you saw those Canadian truckers that were debanked.
Yep.
They suspended access to their own bank accounts.
Unbelievable.
And so when that happened, you had a lot of core America going, now, wait a minute. These are just truckers taking food, Amazon Prime and things back and forth across Canada. What did these guys do?
Nothing.
These are just truckers.
Yeah,
that's right.
And now they're in this long chain, and they stopped it. They put a roadblock up. They all stayed there, and they're like, so things like that also got to the common sense of North Americans, not just U.S. citizens who are like, now wait a minute, now this is weird here. And when you did that, and by the way, go take a look at the cataclysmic change that happened in Canadian politics. And we're seeing it right now because we finally got to basically a transition.
Not that
Trudeau
one.
transition. Because it's not the regular election. Regular election's on October 20th of this year.
Okay.
It comes soon.
All right.
They basically said, I don't think so, mother trucker.
All right. Well,
This ain't happening.
that's actually a good one. I actually do hope this report with it needs to be a bigger story than what it is, because that proves that this guy was on charge. So if you like this clip, click right here. And if you want to see more like it, click right here. Stay angry, Patriots.